So, this is, no, this one. Okay, this is a slide of ovary. So my voice is clear, right? Oh, was my voice okay, girl? Clear, girl?
Doktor.
Okay, clear. Um, this is a slide of ovary. Okay, you have to look at the outer layer of the ovary first. Okay. Okay, basically you have two layers lah. The medulla region, medulla area. Okay, and another one is the cortical area lah. But the cortical area and medulla area is actually you cannot really differentiate the demarcation between these two areas, because you can see here this is a very large corpus luteum here. Okay, very large corpus luteum. Actually impinge on the area of the medulla, and it's on the cortical region. Here is also medulla, but you can't really differentiate some of the cortical region here because there is no well demarcated area to say that this is cortical region, this is the medulla region lah. Okay, so try to look onto the surface of the ovary. Okay, it is not very clear here. You have simple squamous epithelium. Okay, but you have to find some area with that epithelium lah. It's not in this region. Okay, this area you can find some of the simple cuboidal epithelium lining this ovary, and some of this area is simple squamous. It's a mixture already. So by looking at if you go and survey all the cortical region, try to find the primordial follicles. If very few primordial follicles with presence of simple squamous epithelium on the surface of the ovary, but have a mixture of cuboidal, doesn't matter. But as long as it is present with the simple squamous, most of the time, this is the ovary which belongs to the patient to the elderly patient. Okay. All right. So you look at the cortical region, you can try to find some of the primordial follicles. This is part of the primordial follicles you can see, but it's already a little bit distracted here. The oocyte also you can see the nucleus because during preparation it is actually already distracted, but you can see at the outer part of the oocyte here, you can see a simple squamous epithelium lining the oocytes. Okay, so the oocyte is in the middle and the outer part is simple squamous, which is going to line this oocyte lah. So this is the primordial follicles. Okay, primordial follicles. Okay. So the area of the cortical region, you have to remember that it is actually underneath the surface epithelium. You can see a very loose area here. This is the tunica albuginea of the ovary. Okay, tunica albuginea of the ovary. Okay, but very compact area here. This is already under the cortical region of the ovary, where you can see the difference between the compactness of the cellular area lah. Okay, so a lot of fibroblasts in between the fibroblasts, which part of the one that is going to form the connective tissue between the ovary. Okay, this inside the cortical region. Okay, these are the fibroblasts, the nucleus of the fibroblasts, which is actually almost like spindle shape, kan? But it's very small in between these layers of collagen or connective tissue. And then very few. This is also actually one of the primordial follicles, a little bit larger than this one. But the oocyte also already distracted. Here you can see the outer lining is simple squamous epithelium. Okay. So there is not much. If this is belong to young lady, you can see a lot of this primordial follicle, just like the one that I showed to you inside my slide. Okay, so you can go through the rest of the cortical region, try to find the other ovarian follicles, the other types of ovarian follicles, but this is not ovarian follicles. Okay, this is actually different thing. This is blood vessels, which is actually in the medullary region. You can see the like this one, presence of red blood cells inside. This is the blood vessels. Okay, so you cannot find yeah, you can find one here. This is one of the primary follicles, primary follicles. Boleh nampak primary follicles, which is lined, the outer part is lined by the simple cuboidal epithelium. Okay, simple ataupun what do you call as cuboidal epithelium. But you can see maybe already 2 layers here or only 1 layer here. This is the primary follicles, okay, where actually you can find primary follicles. What is the difference between primary and secondary follicles? Student, what can differentiate you the primary and secondary follicles?
Secondary starts to form antrum.
Yes, very good. Okay, Anas. The secondary follicles, they already have the formation of the antrum. Okay, so and also, of course, you can't see the antrum here. If you can see the antrum, that's already secondary follicles. But the oocyte here, you can see very clear. See very clear here. Okay, the oocyte. You can see the nucleolus of the oocyte, the nucleus, and the but of course it's little bit disrupted because of the during preparation of the tissue. But this is the primary follicles. Okay, you are quite lucky today because I managed to find few follicles. So this is already a primary follicle. No antrum, single, basically single line, line by single or simple cuboidal epithelium. This is not this is different. This is blood vessels, okay, which inside the blood vessel you have to remember is lined by the endothelial cells. Of course, no RBC may be washed out during preparation. Okay, I will not show something that is really not very good. But you have already seen primordium and primary follicles. In this slide, there will be no secondary follicles or antral follicles. But if you go towards if you go to our practical today, hopefully you'll find some of the slide that contains the secondary antral follicles lah. Ada few of the slides got secondary antral follicles, but we actually did not scan that slide because that slide is not that good in view, but you can still identify the secondary follicles in that slide. In this slide, we only have, as I have mentioned to you in my lecture, ovary will not going to produce a lot of mature follicle because it will ovulate, everything will be ovulated. So at one time, usually only one will develop. So in this ovary, you can only find, this one is very large. What is this just now I mentioned to you? Very large. This is very large. I have mentioned to you in my lecture, it is very large. It can be 20 double size of the 20 times of the size of the ovarian follicles, primary ovarian follicles. So what is this? Anyone?
Corpus luteum.
Okay, nice. Corpus luteum, corpus luteum, very large. How can you differentiate the corpus luteum? What happens to the follicles once ovulated? It will
Rupture.
change. Yeah, okay. After ovulation, of course, there is rupture. So it will be left with which layer? Layer apa yang tinggal after ovulation? What is left
Tika
behind after the
interna.
ovulation? Very good. Tika interna and?
Granulosa.
Okay, Shiki good. Yeah, Anas, granulosa. Granulosa cells, tika interna, and also? And also? Tika lutein. Yeah, Aisyah, tika lutein. You have tika externa. Tika lutein is the same as tika interna. Okay? Okay, so you have another theca externa. So if you look here, very large, comprised of 2 layers. Okay, 2 layers, but it is not. You have to remember in between the in between the this very big corpus luteum, you will have you will have granulosa cells. This is the part of the uh wait. I have to focus. It's quite difficult to differentiate, but of course you have the T-card lutein cells, which is okay. You look at the folding of the corpus luteum here. Okay, it is folding because it's too big. It folds together. Okay, in between the folds, you will find what layer? What layer in between the folds? Layer apa in between the fold? This fold. What is the layer in between the folds? I mentioned to you in my lecture.
Tika?
Tika what?
Tika lutein cells.
Yeah, it should be the Tika lutein cells, huh? Tika lutein cells, because the appearance of Tika lutein cells, there will be a lot of empty space in between. It's a steroid secreting cells, huh? It's steroid secreting cells, but actually some of the cells in between here, you can see this is part of the granulosa cells. Okay. Okay, in between the folds you have the granulosa cells, and the empty space, a lot of empty space here is the Tika lutein cell. It's not that nice view, or it's not that clear, but this is a very large area of the a very large structure of the corpus luteum lah. Okay, so you can't see any oocyte inside. Left only with 2 layers of Tika lutein, also the granulosa cells. And you of course have the Tika externa, but Tika externa is just a plain uh what do you call it, as the just a connective tissue with, you can't see any cells in between lah. Okay, this is the outer part of the Tika externa, and you have the Tika lutein cells, and of course you have the granulosa cells in between. Okay, all right, so go towards this other side. Try to find if you can find another. Yeah, this is no, this is not. This is blood vessels. Sometimes the blood vessels also looks like it is confusing you because it looks like the primary or primordial follicles. So you can't find a lot of primordial follicles here. You should find a lot of primordial follicles rather than primary or secondary, because the unovulated one, because this is actually the belong to the ovary of the elderly. Yeah, so almost all the follicles already ovulated, but it was left with the corpus luteum. Maybe a late pregnancy, maybe, I'm not sure. Okay, so we actually bought this slide, not actually we didn't actually think by ourselves. We bought this slide from the company lah. Okay, so this is the only layers of, you can see the only layers of the cortex and the medulla. So there is no well demarcation between this medullary region and also the cortical region, but you should actually find a lot of primordial follicles in the young ovary. Yeah? Okay, but of course inside this is not so many. You can only find 1 or 2. So this is belong to doctor. What the difference between granulosa lutein and Tika? Apa? I have to read your chat. Boleh tak cakap je, because need to find the chat. No, I can't find the chat. Where is it? So can you just ask me again? Siapa yang tanya just now? I can't read I cannot read the chat room because dalam chat room ni tak ada. Okay. It just appear one time just. Sorry, okay. Okay, so there is no. Okay, sorry. Again, this is very whitish area. Okay, whitish area contains a lot of fibrous tissue basically. Uh, but this is the Can you guess what is this? I think I have given you questions that should answer your question actually. Okay, what is this? Very good, Aisha. Corpus albicans. Okay, corpus albicans. And you can see outer part of the corpus albicans is the simple the squamous squamous like not squamous, the whose muscle cell. Okay, it will contract the rest of the corpus albicans and it will comprise of only whitish area which is more on towards the fibrous tissue lah, but this you call it as the corpus albicans white lah, which is already degenerated corpus, degenerated follicles also known as the corpus albicans. Okay, very large here. You have corpus albicans here, here. Actually, you should find a lot of corpus albicans in one slide. But this slide is quite unique. I'm not sure why you can only find few corpus albicans very large here. Okay, actually not few. Here is also corpus albicans. This is also corpus albicans. Okay, you can see smooth muscle at the outer part of the corpus albicans and the rest is whitish color, which is more on connective tissue lah. Okay, so this is corpus albicans and should be a lot in between here. Okay, this is part of corpus albicans. Okay, it's also in the medullary region. Looks like in medullary region. Here also. Okay. So here is corpus albicans. Forgot to show to you corpus albicans, corpus albicans, corpus albicans, corpus albicans again. Banyak lagi lah. Okay, a lot lah. Because this is belong to ovary of the elderly patient. Okay, banyak lagi. You can see a lot. Okay, try to focus and find it. Might be to corpus albicans are more on this side lah. So that's why you can still find the primary follicles at this area and primordial follicles just now. But only one or two are left Okay, maybe this patient is already at the end of menopausal period lah. Okay, dah dekat dengan menopause. Okay, so we change our slide. Okay, we change our slide. Yeah, oh, sorry. Okay. Nasib baik ada orang bagi tahu. Okay. Actually, what Hadi ada tulis, we have endometrial layers. So the uterus is divided into 3 layers. The endometrial, what are the other 2 layers? The endometrial layer, this is the endometrial layers. What are the other 2 layers? What is this layer? Anyone want to answer? sorry, Farisha, functional and basal layer is the part of the endometrium. Endometrium is divided into the functional layer and also the basal layer. But the uterus is divided into 3 layers, which is the endometrium. Another 2 layers is, what is this layer? Yes, very good, Shikin, perimetrium. But this one is what? This is not perimetrium. This is the, anyone? Anyone want to answer?
Myometrium.
Yeah, very good, Shikin, myometrium. Okay, this is the area of the myometrium. Okay. So we focus first on the layers of the endometrium, layer of endometrium. You have to remember the endometrium is divided into the basal layer and also the functional layer. Okay, you boleh panggil functionalist ataupun you panggil basalist. Sometimes you boleh panggil basal sahaja or functional layer. So basically, when menstruation occur, the basal layer left. Okay, the only one that is left here is actually the basal layer, and the basal layer contains what? So basically, the endometrium contains what? What is this actually? What is this? The rounded region contains lumen inside. Apa ni? What is it?
Uterine gland.
Yes, again, tak dengar, Anas.
Uterine gland. Basal end.
Okay, very good. Uterine glands, okay? So this is the uterine glands. Uterine glands is going to be invaginated. All the glands, you have to understand, glands must be invaginated epithelium. Okay, this is the surface epithelium. Look at the surface epithelium of the uterus. It is lined by the, anyone? It is lined by what? Simple.
Columnar.
Okay, good. Simple columnar epithelium. Have two, right? What are the 2 columnar types? It's just like the uterine tubes. What is that? What is that epithelium?
Packed cells.
Yes, very good. One is packed cells. Okay, another one?
Ciliated cell.
Okay, very good. Simple columnar ciliated epithelium. You should have packed cells in between where they have no cilia. But inside the uterus, most of the it's quite difficult for you to find packed cells. Even in the notes, it was mentioned they have packed cells in between. Even if you look into the endometrial glands, you have a lot of it is actually simple columnar ciliated cells. Okay, it is too packed that you actually it's quite difficult for you to find the packed cell. Of course, maybe this one is packed cells because the cytoplasm is still very intense as compared to this one. Okay, but you can't really say because it's quite compact because you can see the difference between maybe this one, but all of this is actually the ciliated simple columnar ciliated epithelium. Okay, alright. So these are the invaginated endometrial glands where it is all lined by simple columnar ciliated epithelium, and it contains a lot of what can you see the characteristic features of this gland? Okay, this one just a straight glands. Okay, straight glands. It's not zigzagged. Okay, not zigzagged. This is maybe early phase or follicular phase, or you can call it as the proliferative phase. Follicular phase is just started to thicken the endometrium wall okay. So during the follicular phase, at this stage, the endometrial wall start to repair back, and you can only see the endometrial glands which is more straight, not zigzagged, right? Yet, okay, not yet zigzagged. Okay, kalau if there is appearance of zigzag, which means the endometrial gland has full thickness. Okay, already developed into full thickness. So at the basal layer, is that you can only find the basal part of the glands. Okay, the basal part of the glands. But this is the same, only at the basal part you have a lot of more on the base of the gland rounded region. But of course, this is not, this is the follicular phase or proliferative phase. It started to thicken. Okay. Okay, I have mentioned to you, but you can see, what is the difference between the basal layer besides the gland, okay? What you can see the difference of the cellular component of the basal layer as compared to the functional layer. Apa yang boleh nampak? What is the difference between the basal layer here? Okay, basal layer. Nampak tak saya punya mouse ni? Can you focus on this mouse? Okay, nampak ke? Dalam you all tak nampak mouse ni? Okay, this one. Nampak. Alright, so what is this? What is the difference between this basal layer? Memang tak best ni kalau online kerja jadi slow, it's becoming slow. So face to face is better lah. I try to project again in the lab if can. Okay, so try to look at this. The basal layer, you have a lot of the cell is more compact here until you have to understand the nucleus will still more on basophilic color, okay, bluish, okay. So when there is a lot of cell population, you'll find a lot of nucleus inside. It will appear a little bit darkish or basophilic, okay. So this area very less cellular component, not really less, but less dense as compared to the basal layer. So is more eosinophilic lah. But you can see still a lot of nucleus, okay, but it's not as compact as the cell inside the basal layer, okay, in between the glands, okay. So look at the muscularis layer, okay, the myometrium. Myometrium inside the uterus is what you can say the arrangement is haphazard ataupun whirling appearance. A lot of the muscle not really well arranged. This is the inner circular, this one is maybe oblique arrangement, this one is maybe the longitudinal arrangement. It is not really well arranged because it is actually covering the uterus and it is really compact, and you can see the arrangement is haphazardly arranged okay. Okay, so basically these are all the nucleus of the smooth muscle inside the myometrium. Okay, you can see the corkscrew appearance of the muscle here, corkscrew appearance, and the appearance of the elongated appearance of the nucleus of the smooth muscle of the myometrium. And you can see here this arrangement is little bit oblique, little bit oblique around this region, and this region, some of this region may be a little bit looks like longitudinal arrangement, okay, and there's already a circular arrangement, so it is not well arranged. So this is the characteristic features of the myometrium. I don't have the layers of the perimetrium, okay. So we go towards the other slide, which is actually the menstrual phase, okay. This is the menstrual phase. You can see the rest of the myometrium here, okay, the rest of the myometrium here, okay, but this is not well colored, okay, of course it's not well stained, but you can see the corkscrew appearance very clear, corkscrew appearance of the smooth muscle of the myometrium. Of course, again, it is haphazardly arranged, just the same. This is blood vessels, okay. Space in between, this is maybe because of the preparation of the tissue, it was not very good. So don't worry about that. Try to focus on this region. This is the endometrium region. Okay, the endometrium, you can see the basal, decidual basalis ataupun layers of the basal. Okay, we left only with the basal glands. Okay, but of course it is more basophilic in color. And this region, okay, this is the functionalist layer, which is already being sloughed off. Okay, okay, you can still see some of the uterine glands which is elongated here. Okay, simple squamous epithelium, columnar ciliated. Okay, this is the appearance of the simple squamous columnar ciliated epithelium, where you can see at this part most of it already. dissolve. Okay, even the cellular component here started to dissolve or die. Okay, apoptosis will occur at this region. So you can see the solution of the glands. Okay, the dissolutions of the glands. You can't see the glands. You can see very well already. So distracted, and this is known as the menstrual phase. Okay, menstrual phase, and it is only left with a lot of basal layer. Okay, basal layer which is more basophilic intense color, but you can see a lot of blood also congested in between the glands lah. Okay, this is the menstrual phase. Okay, so we go to the next slide. Okay, the entire uterus human here is the slide of the cervical region. Okay, the cervix. What you can see here, only left here, is actually the part of the cervical region, which is the cervix is divided into two parts. Okay, which is the, anyone can answer me?
Endo-ectocervix.
Yes, very good. Endocervix and ectocervix. Okay, so it is divided into endocervix and ectocervix, and this part, which contains a little bit of uterine glands, is which part? Which part, anyone? What is this part? Is this the endocervix or ectocervix? Okay, what is the characteristic of endocervix? Anyone? I've been showing to you to give the clue lah. Okay. What is the what is this? What is this?
Simple columnar epithelium.
Okay, very good. Simple columnar ciliated glands, ciliated epithelium. And what is this? What is this? What are these?
Gland.
Yep, part of the endometrial glands. Okay, little bit of glands, but I would prefer you to call it as cervical glands. Okay, so this is basically the endocervix. Okay, the ectocervix is lined by what? Ectocervix is lined by
Stratified
what? Anyone?
squamous epithelium.
Okay, very good.
Non-keratinized.
Simple squamous epithelium, non-keratinized. Okay, so that is ectocervix. So this is part of endocervix. Okay, what you can see at the outer part of the endocervix, you can see the maybe part of the simple squamous epithelium. Okay, part of the myometrium. Okay, that encircling the rounded area of the cervix. Okay, it is rounded. Round, so this is most likely the cervical region, and you can see part of the ligaments. Okay, the outer part of the perimetrium is here. Okay, so this part of perimetrium is lined by simple squamous epithelium. So what do you call this actually? What do you call what do you call this area? The perimetrium area is lined by simple squamous. So this is most likely the one that is covered by the anyone? This part is covered by the broad ligament. Okay, the broad ligament, dia punya epithelial characteristic is the mesothelium. Okay, so you call it, this one is the as the simple squamous epithelium here is mesothelium. Okay, which is simple squamous epithelium, which covers almost the entire part of the perimetrium of the cervix region, cervical region. Okay, so this is the perimetrium. You can see a lot of blood vessels in between the muscularis layer and also the myometrium and the perimetrium here. Okay, you still call as the myometrium and perimetrium because it is cervix is still part of the uterus. Okay, so you can see a lot of blood vessels here. How you identify blood vessels, which is covered by the tunica media. Okay, layer of tunica media, tunica acina, which is actually the adventitia of the blood vessels. And inside the tunica media, you can see the endothelial cells. Of course, this is part of the RBC, but it's almost diluted because of the structure. Maybe already distracted. So this is the blood vessels, a lot of blood vessels. So you can say this is the blood supply to the uterus. You have the uterine artery. Okay, a lot of branches of uterine arteries here. Okay, So this is the medium size artery. Okay, if you don't remember this medium size artery, this is vein. Vein, what is the characteristic of the vein? You have the lot of thick tunica adventitia and very thin tunica media, and the lumen actually is like just like this one, almost collapse. This one is just nice, but because of the tunica adventitia is very thick, so you consider this is medium size vein, because it's also near the medium size artery. Okay, so that is all about this uterus, our cervix region. We have another slide, one more slide. This one already discussed with Dr. Anna, right? The mammary gland. Okay, last slide is the okay, this is the slide of vagina. Okay, what is lining the vagina layer? Because vagina is almost near the outer part of the cavity, which is actually continuous with the skin layer, kan? So you have to just remember vagina is actually lined by the what is this? Stratified squamous. Yes, you can very good.
Epithelium,
Stratified squamous
non-keratinized.
epithelium. Non-keratinized. Okay, you can't see any keratin layer because still presence of nucleus. So it's the stratified squamous epithelium non-keratinized. Okay, you can see the basal part of the simple stratified squamous epithelium is different. Okay, the shape is different. That is the characteristic of the vagina. Of course, inside the vagina, you still find a lot of smooth muscle, but most of it, if you stain in specific skin, you can see elastic tissue here. Okay, if not in specific skin, you have elastic tissue, which is almost a little bit dipanggil apa curving here. Okay, so this is actually part of the elastic tissue, which is a lot inside the vagina layer lah. Okay, because during parturition, of course, it's going to return back the vagina wall into the normal position because of the presence of all of this elastic tissue. But elastic tissue, you have to stain a very special stain so that you can identify differently. Okay, besides the collagen, of course, collagen is inside the layers of the outer layer of the vagina. Okay, so this is the mucosal layer. This is the mucosal layer. What do you call this layer? Anyone? What do you call that outer layer? Okay, kalau yes, muscularly, Aisyah. Good. So this is the part of the nervous tissue. Okay, neuron. Okay, not. Jangan cakap dengan saya ni kau pasal weekends Okay, this is the nervous tissue, the neuron. Okay, that innervates the vagina, and you can see the blood vessels. Blood vessel with a lot of red blood cells. Okay, red blood cells inside. Okay, so of course this is already distracted region, and you have vagina because vagina is not covered by the mesothelium, by right? You will not find any mesothelium, but maybe part of it lah. Okay. Alright, so I think finish of my okay, viewer. You can, what do I actually miss? Yeah, actually we have uterine tube, but it's not in this collection. I try to find, yeah, this one. If you can find the uterine tubes. Last slide, okay, uterine tubes. Hopefully, yeah, very good here, fallopian tubes. Okay, so this is very nice structure. Last slide, very nice structure of fallopian tubes. Already almost 10 o'clock, okay? So I think we meet at 10:30 in lab lah. So can we meet 10:30 everyone? Yang nak datang, the one that want to present in the lab. Boleh? 10:30? Okay. Because I want to discuss my question. Okay. Alright, so this part is which part of the uterine tube? I mentioned to you yesterday. Very compact. Okay. The lumen is almost very small. Which part of the uterine tube is contains a lot of what do you call this the mucosal layer of the uterine glands.
Ampulla.
Yes, very good. The ampulla part, ampulla region is very dense with a lot of the what do you call that folding of the mucosal layer, because this is a very packed area. Okay, the mucosal layer is very packed here at the ampulla region, where the ampulla region is the common part of for what? It's common part of
Fertilization.
for what? Again, I can't hear.
Fertilization.
Yes, very good. Fertilization, because it is easily you can easily trap the oocyte here. Okay, you can easily track the oocyte here, the ovum lah. Okay, and it will be fertilized in this region and be carried towards the uterus. But if you have a problem with the cilia, it can be just trapped here, and the ectopic pregnancy can occur here. So you can see, try to focus on the epithelium lining of this uterine tubes. So most of it is just very compact, just like the uterine glands, very compact. It's quite difficult for you to find the, of course, just now I mentioned to you, there are two types of epithelium, which is the simple squamous ciliated epithelium and also the packed cells. Okay, but of course you can see a lot of cilia here. These are the simple columnar ciliated epithelium. Okay, but it's quite difficult for you to find the packed cells because it's very compact. I try to find it. Not that nice, It's quite difficult. It's just really try to find a lot of slides that we have. This is the best slide that we have. That's the best slide we scan. You need around 30 minutes to scan one slide using one of the slide scanner in PPSC. You can simply scan slide within 1 or 2 minutes. It took around 30 minutes to 40 minutes to scan one slide so that it is available to be viewed by case viewer. Okay, so basically, you are not that lucky, but of course, if you can see inside our lab, if you manage to find very nice slide, sometimes the old slide is very nice, so the staining. This is really distorted. You can't find the packed cells. Very compact. Maybe here. Okay. Maybe here this is part of the packed cells, but it's not that clear. So let's say if question come out in exam, what we usually give you one lecture. Let's say you have 2 slides. If you have 2 slides, you must know the 2 slides will come with this within the same lecture. Okay, let's say I ask you ovary, the next thing should be asked by me. You can identify the ovary. You have to identify another slide, must be either uterine tubes, uterus, or follicular phase, or menstrual phase. That is the usually you will get 2 slides with the same lecture lah. Okay, so it's quite hard to find the region. It's not that the packed cell is not present. The packed cell is there. This one. Okay, this is part of the packed cell, but it's too compact to give you the reasoning, the characteristic features. The only thing that you can see here, a lot of cilia with the shape of the simple columnar epithelium. That's all. If you are quite lucky enough, then you can find a very clear stain slide with this presence of 2 epithelium packed cells and also simple columnar ciliated. Alright. Okay, so the outer part of the uterine tube is comprised of the still again a lot of the not really a lot, but you have the smooth muscle in between. Okay, smooth muscle in between. Of course, you have collagen elastic fibers, but you can't see the staining. You have to do specific staining because this is a lot of blood vessels. You have the ovarian artery, ovarian vein, which is actually will supply the uterine tubes. Sorry, ovarian artery, yeah, part of it is going to go through not ovarian, uterine artery. Uterine artery is going through the uterine tubes, and also going to supply the uterine tubes. Uterine artery also going to supply the uterine tubes. Sorry, uterine tube. Yep. Okay. All right. That's all for now. I think I stopped sharing this one, and I'll be share to you my question. I can't remember where I put my question. Okay, wait. Okay, I'll share to you my question lecture. Where is my file? Reproductive system. Question soalan. Okay, sorry. I try to find my question. Okay. Reproductive system. Questions to finish. I think the answer already given during the practical just now. Oh, sorry. Did I share the question? Did I share the question? Betul kan saya share question kan? Alright, good. Okay, so the first question, you're provided with a diagram, okay? This diagram. Identify the areas labeled A, B, C, and D. Sorry, A and B. So the areas labeled A and B is this. What is this? What is this? Anyone?
Ovarian cortical region.
Okay, very cortical region, very good. And this one?
Ovarian medullary region.
Okay, very good, Anas and Aisha, medullary region. Okay, so identify the areas labeled A and B, state the structure labeled C, D, E, and E. So C, what is structure C? Anyone? Just now? A lot? Inside the slide? Yes, very good, Aisha. Corpus albicans, okay? So D, very large one just now inside the slide. Yes, good, Shikin, corpus luteum. Okay, so state the epithelium. Okay, structure E. Structure is what? You can answer either primary follicles or primordium, because sometimes primary follicles, you can also say primary follicle because it's not very clear here, just like started to change to cuboidal. Okay, yes, very primary follicles unilamina. Very good. All right, so state the epithelium lining the E. You can see cuboidal lah. Okay, simple cuboidal epithelium to support your answer in this question. Okay, let's say kalau you cakap primary follicles, you have to answer epithelium E is simple squamous. There is a still presence of simple squamous epithelium here. I still can accept it, but since you already find the cuboidal epithelium here, then you should answer primary follicles. Okay, so the answer, if the answer here is primary follicles, the answer here must be simple cuboidal epithelium. Okay, simple cuboidal. So the stage E, primary follicles lah. Okay, that's the only stage. So F here is actually tak ada dalam soalan, terlupa nak letak. What is lining the F epithelium? What epithelium is the F? This is the outer part of the ovary. Anyone? Apa yang you nampak daripada jauh ni? So you have to
Simple
focus.
squamous kot.
Yeah, very good. Simple squamous epithelium. Okay. Alright. Next question. Identify the layers labeled A and B. Actually, I have already asked you during the practical just now. What is A? What is your answer A? Yes, very good, Shikin. Endometrium. B? B, what is your answer B? Yes, very good, Aisha. Myometrium. So basically you should answer endometrium, huh? Don't answer layer of functionalis and basilis, but if it turns out to be lymphocyte because you want to answer everything, then okay lah, very good lah. So take the structure labeled C. This structure. The rest of the structure, not epithelium, okay? When I ask the structure labeled C, yes, very good. She can use triangle, okay? Okay, state the epithelium inside D. Epithelium of D. What is the epithelium of D? Simple. Columnar. Okay, very good. You should answer simple columnar ciliated lah. And also you can also answer with packed cells. Okay. Okay, go to question 3. Identify the layers A and B. Okay. This is the we enlarge this since the exam is online, so it's quite difficult. Usually if the exam is face to face, usually we give you slides so that you can go through the rest of the slide. You can enlarge into the higher power field. So this one we enlarge into the higher power field and it comes with 2 layers. Okay, what are the layers of A and B? A is what layer? What do you call A layer? Anyone? We have discussed just now.
Mucosal.
Yeah, very good. Mucosal layer. B. B is muscularis layer lah. Okay. So state the epithelium lining A. What is epithelium lining A? Okay, stratified squamous non-keratinized. Very good. Okay. So this is the structure of the, what is this? Most likely.
Vagina.
Okay, vagina. Okay. Very good. This is vagina. Okay. Let's say you find I give you one question, another one question over it, then suddenly you find this one. Jangan jawab skin ke mucosal surface inside the your mouth ke. Cakaplah this is the vagina. Okay. Jangan cakap mouth pula. Don't answer as mouth. Cakap mouth region also inside your mouth region, internal part of your oral cavity is also lined by simple. Okay, slide is vagina lah. Okay. But still, if you answer the epithelial lining is true, then you still get the marks lah. Okay. Say the tissue present in B. Okay. The main tissue present in B, if this is vagina, I want very good answer. Just now is the. You don't simply answer connective tissue. Okay. What is a very good answer
Smooth muscle.
to answer the state the tissue present in B?
Smooth muscle tissue.
Yes, she can. Elastic fibers. Okay, smooth muscle also can. Okay. So, but the very good answer is elastic fibers because that's already mentioned by me again and again. Very important to maintain the vaginal wall shape. Okay, the elastic fibers. Okay. So, if you answer connective tissue, it's difficult for me to give you the marks because connective tissue is everywhere in your body. Okay. All right. So if you try to avoid just simple answer connective tissue unless you got question connective tissue questions. Okay. I think that's all for me from now. For now. So can we meet at the lab